Welcome to Success Talks with Rodney Saulsberry. I hope you will support my sponsors who bring you this podcast absolutely free and with limited interruptions. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen. I'll get started in just a second.
The reviews are in. The book from voiceover superstar and coach Rodney Saulsberry is another runaway hit. Readers from all over the world are raving about tongue twisters and vocal warm-ups. You can find this and his other titles at the top of the voiceover bestsellers list on Amazon.
Elvis Presley, born January 8, 1935. He's often referred to as Elvis, dubbed the King of Rock and Roll. He is regarded as one of the most significant cultural figures of the 20th century. His energized interpretations of songs and sexually provocative performance style, combined with a singularly potent mix of influences across color lines during a transformative era in race relations, led him to both great success and initial controversy.
Hello everyone, this is Sean Daly for dailyvo.com. I want to tell you about one resource I highly recommend for vocal warm-ups because it takes out all of the guesswork and it was purpose-built with voiceover in mind. It's called Rodney Saulsberry's Tongue Twisters and Vocal Warm-Ups with Other Vocal Care Tips. How's that for a title? So in case you don't know, Rodney Saulsberry is a top-tier talent and coach, motivational speaker, and author of several books on voice acting, including You Can Bank on Your Voice and Step Up to the Mic. The book is available in print and on Kindle, and you can find it at Amazon or Rodney's personal website, rodneysaulsberry.com.
Presley was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, and relocated to Memphis, Tennessee with his family when he was 13 years old. His music career began there in 1954, recording at Sun Records with producer Sam Phillips, who wanted to bring the sound of African-American music to a wider audience. Presley on rhythm acoustic guitar and accompanied by lead guitarist Scotty Moore and bassist Bill Black, was a pioneer of rockabilly, an up-tempo backbeat-driven fusion of country music and rhythm and blues.
And we'll be back after this message.
You Can Bank on Your Voice, second edition. Get your copy at Amazon.com. Get the audiobook on Audible.com. You Can Bank on Your Voice, second edition. Get your copy today. In 1955, RCA Victor acquired his contract in a deal arranged by Colonel Tom Parker, who would manage him for more than 2 decades. Presley's first RCA Victor single, Heartbreak Hotel, was released in January 1956 and became a #1 hit in the United States. Within a year, RCA would sell 10 million Presley singles, with a series of successful network television appearances and chart-topping records. Presley became the leading figure of the newly popular sound of rock and roll. And Presley didn't just sing. In November 1956, Presley made his film debut in Love Me Tender. Drafted into military service in 1958, Presley relaunched his recording career 2 years later with some of his most commercially successful work. Having sold over 400 million records worldwide, Presley is recognized as the best-selling solo music artist of all time by Guinness World Records. He was commercially successful in many genres, including pop, country, rhythm and blues, adult contemporary, and gospel. And let's talk about some of his awards. Presley won 3 Grammy Awards, received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award at age 36, and has been inducted into multiple music halls of fame. He holds several records, including the most RIAA certified gold and platinum albums, the most albums charted on the Billboard 200, the most #1 albums by a solo artist on the UK albums chart, and the most #1 singles by any act on the UK singles chart. Let's talk about his musicianship. Presley played guitar, bass, and piano. He received his first guitar when he was 11 years old. He could not read music or write music and had no formal lessons, and he played everything by ear. Presley often played an instrument on his recordings and produced his own music. Presley played rhythm acoustic guitar on most of his Sun recordings and his 1950s RCA albums. And on the album Elvis Is Back, he played a lot of acoustic guitar on some great songs that include I Will Be Home Again and Like a Baby. Let's talk about his vocal style and range. The developmental arc of Presley's singing voice, as described by critic Dave Marsh, goes from high and thrilled in the early days to lower and perplexed in the final months. Marsh credits Presley with the introduction of the vocal stutter on 1955's Baby Let's Play House. When on Don't Be Cruel, Presley slides into a that marks the transition between the first two verses. He shows how masterful his relaxed style really is. Marsh describes the vocal performance on Can't Help Falling in Love as one of gentle insistence and delicacy of phrasing, with the line, Shall I Stay, pronounced as if the words are fragile as crystal. There's no doubt about it, Elvis Presley had a distinct voice. Graylin Brown, the new novel by Rodney Saulsberry. It's the heartwarming story about a family in Detroit. The Motown sound was alive and well. The Philly soul sound was alive and well. And the big three automakers were making wonderful cars every day. Graylin Brown, the novel. Get your copy at Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. On the evening of August 16, 1977, Presley was scheduled to fly out of Memphis to begin another tour. That afternoon, Ginger Alden discovered him in an unresponsive state on the bathroom floor of his Graceland mansion. Attempts to revive him failed, and he was pronounced dead at Baptist Memorial Hospital at 3:30 p.m. He was 42 years old. President Jimmy Carter issued a statement that credited Presley with having permanently changed the face of American popular culture. Thousands of people gathered outside Graceland to view the open casket. One of Presley's cousins, Billy Mann, accepted $18,000 to secretly photograph the body. The picture appeared on the cover of the National Enquirer's biggest-selling issue ever. Alden struck a $105,000 deal with the Enquirer for her story, but settled for less when she broke her exclusivity agreement. Presley left her nothing in his will. Presley's funeral was held at Graceland on Thursday, August 18th. About 80,000 people lined the processional route to Forest Hill Cemetery, where Presley was buried next to his mother. Following an attempt to steal Presley's body in late August, the remains of both Presley and his mother were exhumed and reburied in Graceland's Meditation Garden on October 2nd. Presley is buried alongside his parents, daughter, grandson, and his paternal grandmother in the Meditation Garden at Graceland. And we here at Success Talks are proud to celebrate the outstanding career of Elvis Presley.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I urge you to listen to future podcasts where I will continue to try and make you better than before. My goal is to point you in a positive direction to success, right here on Success Talks with me, Rodney Saulsberry.